Astro squirrel on the fly. On the fly. Let's see if we can get through this without mad dogs barking their heads off. If so, we'll pause it. I've got to check in with you. Sometimes I write these things clearer than I can communicate them to you, but I'm going to give it a try here because there's so much going on and we are heading for a showdown energetically speaking. Dismantling the system. That's what this Saturn-Pluto conjunction in Capricorn has been working toward for several years now. And the peak comes soon where it will start to unravel really quickly. And there are so many indicators along the way that I've been trying to let you know about. Mars has finally moved into Sagittarius. So there's been an energy shift with that. The nodes of the moon are very closely involved with what's happening in all the planets now. So everything is filled with destiny. Chiron's been very closely involved. So issues of deep personal wounding, potential for healing has been mixed in with this. The important thing to remember is there are so many layers of reality. There's so much more beyond what we see, what we're exposed to, what we've known our entire lives, what we think we've known our entire lives. And this was my point in posting yesterday about familiarizing yourself with the matrix, the layers of existence. You think of a big clock, and that's a lot of what the planets look like. You can picture them as a big circle and the points on a clock and how they interact with each other. And when you see it's 3:10 in the afternoon, it's because this arm's pointing here and this one's pointing there. And this is exactly the same with interpreting astrological influences. We've been going through the dismantling for a long time. This has been a long phase. This has been Pluto through Capricorn. Saturn is getting super close to the conjunction. This is where it becomes helpful to know your own chart, because we all have a role to play in this. It starts with our personal healing and paying attention to your deeper issues that you've carried throughout your lives that have manifested in your wounding. If the snorty dog, good, that's not a bark. So your wounds. I'm talking about, if you think that word's a little too dramatic, just think about the situations that have been ongoing triggers for you in your life. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. It's not just random. And I saw someone post earlier today, oh, well, we've been on vacation for this many days now, and already we've heard about something going on at home where they're going to be called to rush back. And what you're affirming, and if you keep expecting the same thing to happen, because the point is, when you become aware of the areas where you feel the hurt or the disappointment or the it's always something cycle, that's your cue to pay attention, because it's like playing a board game. It's like video games. Every time you master a level, you get to see even more, and it's even bigger. So it doesn't mean that those situations are going to stop. It just means You need to become more aware of your participation in the programming. And when it happens, it's a cue for another step in your personal growth. I'm going to stop for right now. Well, I always say that, and then I continue for another 5 minutes, don't I? What's going on right now today? Here's their planets, astro.com, excellent resources. The nodes, the south node, Jupiter. Oh my gosh. Take a minute and see the trees in the forest. Don't lose your perspective because it's blown up so big. You've got a massive opportunity for healing right now. If you tune into your very old patterns, I'm going to talk to myself right now and use it as an example for you. I'm Astro Squirrel for a reason. I can be very focused, but I have a mind that wanders quite a bit. And truth be told, I'm a little bit of an addict when it comes to playing word games. At any given time, I've got 25 or so word games going on simultaneously. Mostly with Andra, but a couple of other people as well. So it's really, and I've looked at that. It's time for me to look a little deeper. I'm feeling I could be a little more productive if I wasn't playing so many word games. But then again, for me, it's sort of a meditative tool. Because if I can zone out, and I've already spent a lot of hours cultivating my studies. When I tune out, I allow the opportunity for more things to come in. The point I'm making is old patterns, old wounds. Pay attention. Chiron is key. Chiron at 0 degrees. Aries is now being fueled by Mars just having moved into Sagittarius. This is a helpful-ish angle because it'll give you an opportunity for healing, but it's going to shove it right up there for you to see where your primary wound is, or what I like to refer to as your primary key to your greater understanding and personal evolution when you commit to mastering it while knowing, as long as you're still living and breathing. True mastery, I don't know those people. I've heard about them. It's a process as long as you're still alive. Sun's at 12 degrees, Capricorn. We're having the Capricorn party. We've got Mercury there, Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto. The moon in Aries right now is at 19 degrees, and it's on approach to square Saturn and then square Pluto. The moon cycles last 2.5 days. So the moon in Aries is a little more expressive emotionally and quick to react. And here comes another zinger. So I will wrap this up with saying your perspective is everything. You're going to run into things that get you, some much deeper than others. And it's a continual process. I come to you and I present to you when I've gone through a process. I'm not like this all the time. I spend plenty of time going through stuff. But every time I come out of the other side of it, I have a wider perspective. So this is your message for today. Perspective, pay attention. We're in the process of dismantling. That's how great things happen. You wonder why it hasn't worked for a couple of 100 years to keep adding legislation to legislation. It becomes convoluted. Sometimes things have to be dismantled. This not only applies to government agencies, globalist agencies, this applies to us personally. If you understand you're in a process of dismantling right now, and you know that we all play a role at a certain level, we all chose to be here right now. So do your best to go with it. If you're feeling deeply emotional, don't resist it, go through it. But reinforce when you're going through it. If you're going to cry, put everything you have into it. Let it move through its energy. Let it move through. We're dismantling everything for the evolution of the planet. This is happening on a planetary basis, and that means all of us that live here are dealing with it. Get your chart done. Lots of ways to do it. Contact me if you want to understand how it's affecting you in your life. And lastly, CIA, Cosmic Intelligence Agency, check them out. They're having an amazing symposium this weekend with the cream of the crop astrologers presenting. And it's extremely reasonable. I think it's $120 with a 20% off code. If you need it, post under this thread. Thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for hearing me. I hope in some way what I say makes a difference for you. Bye for now.